And we're in a
Well, I'm
public
not
setting.
asking you to read it out loud in this public setting, but providing, we're the recipient of highly classified information on a regular basis. In our little exchange a few minutes ago, you assured me that whatever I wanted to see, whatever you would give me, whatever I wanted to get. So I'm asking very specifically for the documents regarding the disciplinary matter of regarding the Dobbins case. And I'm also asking for the settlement agreement that you emailed, not you personally, but the department, emailed to George Gillette. And I want straight talk from you. Are you or are you not going to provide that to us?
Sir, I'll take that back to the department. If I'm given authorization by...
Who makes that decision? You're not a decision maker. Who makes that decision?
That decision would come from the Department of Justice.
I know, but...
I believe it could be a couple different shops, sir. It could be the Office of Legislative Affairs. It could be the Office of the Deputy Attorney General.
Legislative Affairs?
I suspect the Deputy Attorney General's office.
Why does Legislative Affairs... they're not... The job of Legislative Affairs is not to be the roadblock, the speed bump on the way to Congress. I know that's what they do. They get paid, and I wish they would look in the mirror and self-assess what their role in life is, because Congress has some work to do. And obviously, we're having a hearing, again, because there's a problem.
Yes, sir. Sir,
and oversight. Let me give you some history. In 1814, they founded this committee. Okay, we've seen a few things on this committee. It was to oversee every expenditure and everything we do in Congress. It's one of the unique things is I can unilaterally sign a subpoena. I shouldn't have to do that. You should provide that material and not go ask some, desk jockey who just decides that it's easier not to comply with the Constitution and not comply with Congress's requests. I want to just be crystal clear. We want all of that information. If you're not going to give it to me, tell me, because I'll just sign a subpoena. I don't need to ask anybody.
Sir,
I don't need to go to a judge.
I personally don't have any problem with the committee getting any of those documents we discussed. I haven't seen anything in any of them.
Then get them and give them to us.
But I do have to follow guidance from my superiors as well.
Okay. That's this dam that we're trying to undo. Openness, transparency. We give a lot of lip service. But then when it comes to reality of actually getting these documents, we have the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. You have the chairman of the Oversight Committee. We're both asking for this information, and you all won't provide it because there's some, again, desk jockey sitting at DOJ making who knows how much money saying, nah, they don't need to see it. That's not how America works. That's not how Congress works. We're accountable to the people of the United States of America. That's the way it's supposed to work. So, and you don't need to answer this, okay? But I want you and your patriotic commitment to this country to help us break down that wall.
I would love.
I don't want to get in a fight with y'all. Okay, you guys do amazing things.
I don't either, sir. I think the oversight.
The other self-assessment. It's just me, just giving this free advice. There's the United States Constitution, and then there's DOJ guidance. You got to make a personal decision which is more important. And help us break down those walls. That goes for everybody here. It is unbelievable what gets hidden from Congress. And what's getting hidden. We're different in the United States of America. We are self-critical. We do look under the rocks. We do go find out what's wrong, and then we take that and make it better. That's what makes this country great. But that's not what happens on a daily basis at the Department of Justice. And it seems to be, it doesn't matter who's in charge. There's this bureaucracy that puts up this wall that says, the American people don't need to hear that. We'll protect them. Well, the only way we can protect them is actually have somebody looking over the shoulder to make sure they're telling the truth and doing things up and up. And in the case of Mr. Dobbins, it is unbelievable. You had a professional go in there at the staff and look at this report. Please familiarize yourself with it. The reason we do that is so we don't make that mistake again. And that's the spirit in which we're trying to do our jobs. And you're in a difficult spot, okay? You're getting a lot of people telling you not to do things. And so just communicate that with us. We'll blow right past it. We'll go right to the subpoenas. And
sir, I will do everything in the power that my minimal office has to make that happen, but it's not my decision. I don't disagree in general with any of these discussions.
And I need the names because I want to drag them in here, and we're going to have quite a hearing with the people that are making these decisions.
I have made that recommendation that we disclose some of those documents already, sir, and I will continue to. I assure you that.
Thank you. And if there's somebody giving you a roadblock, I'm asking you to please provide those names to Congress. And we put you in the witness protection program if you need be, okay? We can do that.
I had been doing
Okay,
these-
so let me go back to June 22nd of 2016. Mr. Rosenberg, who's Mr. Rosenberg?
the administrator of DEA.
And he was before the Senate Judiciary Committee when Senator Grassley, who happens to be the chairman of that committee, asked if it had been completed and asked if the Senate Judiciary Committee could get a copy of it. Here's what Mr. Rosenberg said, and I quote, "It has been finalized. It's been approved by the department. I'm more than happy to provide a copy to this committee and to your staff, sir," end quote. Did they ever give a copy of the confidential informant policy to Senator Grassley and the Senate Judiciary Committee?
They did not.
Why not?
I have spoken to the administrator about that comment. You caught me off guard when you had brought that up on November 30th. He had said that he had intended to mean in camera. There's a copy of the policy.
You understand that that's different, right? We've had this discussion.
We have had that discussion, sir.
Okay, let's play. I actually want to play the video of you and I having this discussion from last time you were here in November of last year. Let's go ahead and put up this video if we could. And why? What's the justification for not allowing us, giving us a copy of that policy?
That I don't know, sir, but I'd be happy to find out what the justification is and also get that.
When will you give me that answer?
I will get you that answer as quickly as possible after returning to the
Do you understand that in camera is different than giving us a copy of that policy?
I do understand that.
And you understand we're not going to be satisfied with an in-camera review?
You're making that very clear.
Okay. So, Mr. Patterson, when did you give me the answer to that question?
I have not, sir. My understanding is...
And you testified under oath, you promised me in November, as soon as you get back to your office. And we're in April, and I still don't have it, and I still don't have an excuse either. So why are you not giving this to us?
Sir, my understanding is that committee staff was contacted yesterday by the department.
Yesterday, right before a hearing. What a coincidence.
Sir, if I may say this, so I will take full responsibility that I know the Attorney General was sworn in February, and from February until March 11th, I did not go back to ask this question. On March 11th, I had the opportunity to watch other hearing, which prompted me to ask two questions to the department. One was why Mr. Horwitz hadn't received our policy on mitigation for threats, and the second was to go back and say that we still have a lingering thing to address the issue of the policy and the request of yourself.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The Inspector General and his staff can see the confidential informant policy, but you refuse to give it to Congress. What is it that you think that Congress doesn't have the right to see?
Sir, again, I work for the Department of Justice. And
Who specifically is telling you not to give us this?
I spoke yesterday to members of the DAG's office.
Yeah, okay, let's name some names.
I had a conversation with Armando Bonilla in the DAG's office yesterday.
And what did he tell you?
He made me aware that the committee staff had reached out to you and that you guys were going to work a path forward on this issue.
Okay, so I'm going to have to go to another route, and I hope you understand that. Are you able to accept service of a subpoena? You personally?
I would assume so, yes.
You're not sure? I mean, your boss, right? The acting director is testifying. Actually, it's that way, next door. I think what I'm going to do, if you're not sure, I'm going to have somebody else chair this hearing. I'm also a member of the Judiciary Committee, and I'm going to go serve him this subpoena. Congress has a right to have this material. And it is unbelievable to me that you think that we shouldn't have a copy of it. Now, you may be caught in the middle. You may be listening to others, and I'm sure in your mind you're thinking, I don't get to make this decision unilaterally, but you are the one that the DEA sends before us. And so I don't care if it's the Obama administration or the Trump administration, nothing's changed here. And so in order to get the result that we need so we can provide the proper oversight, we're going to need a copy of that policy. And I'm not buying this whole idea, oh, we give it to Congress, then it's public. We understand how sensitive it is. We have no intention of giving it to the public or releasing it. But I think you do value in some part oversight because you do give it to the Inspector General. But remarkably, you won't give it to the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, nor will you give it to the Senate Judiciary Committee, and my guess is you won't give it to the House Judiciary Committee. And we find that wholly unacceptable, and so I'm forced to get into a position which I didn't want to have to be into, but we're going to issue this subpoena and get a copy of this material. My time has expired. I'll yield back now. Recognize the ranking member.